Hello again, Book World and BookTube. This is Peg, and welcome back to the History Shelf. I hope all of you had a relaxing, refreshing, restorative Memorial Day weekend. I hope you took some time to just think about all the men and women who have fallen in the defense of our country. And I hope it was a grand time of reunions with family and friends. I know I got to finally visit my aunt and cousin and my cousin's boyfriend, and we just had a grand time, spent all day together, and it was just fantastic. It was so good for the soul. I spent a lot of time reading. I posted that video of the 4-box book haul. I think I did that before my vacation started so I could just hold you guys over. I kind of knew I'd be busy. I had a lot of reading deadlines to finish, and I finished a couple of books and wrote a review, and in between just relaxing and having fun and visiting family, checking out my PS5. Oh yes. And just playing with friends, and it was a good time, and watching hockey. It's hockey playoff season, and although my team did not make it in, we're a team in transition right now. I am sporting my shirt because I'm a loyal gal. There we go. Red Wings, baby. Detroit Red Wings. Anyhow, I'm back for another video. It's God. Yeah, and it was a busy start to the week. A busy Tuesday, it was a busy work day, and I thought I'd end it by showing you some books that I received not too long ago, and I've kind of been ordering them along theme or publisher. And this time, this stack is from a sale that I partook of. Well, a couple of things here, actually. No, I bought all of these. Okay. These were from the InterVarsity Press, academic. They have an academic sale going on. I'm going to include the link below because if any of these books appeal to you, whether for your own faith or if you're just a person who loves reading or just reading about religion or theology, Christianity, anything like that, and you are interested in any of these books, they were dirt cheap on the IVP website. And I think a lot of these books are still available. In fact, I heard about this sale from Johnny Keene, who I'd seen a couple of the books he was showing, and I actually went and picked up a couple of the ones he got through the same sale. So anyway, I will spread the word, I'll spread the wealth, and put that link below. But anyway, I just wanted to check in with you guys. It's the start of a new week, a short week, here we go. So the first book I got, this was super cheap, probably like $3 or something. A lot of these are just really, and they're brand new books, so it's crazy. I got Saving Calvinism, Expanding the Reformed Tradition by Oliver D. Crisp. I'm a non-confirmed Lutheran, but I'm interested. I'm just interested in all aspects of my religion, all the different denominations, just understanding what differentiates these denominations, whether it's Lutheranism, Calvinism, not Calvinism, but Methodism, Baptists. How many? There's more. Give me more. There's Unitarians, there's, obviously there's Catholic, there's Episcopal. Here we go, another coming. Episcopal. There's so many different denominations, and Calvin was such a huge force in the Reformed tradition, and I don't know. I guess I wanted to read about this from a Calvinist perspective, because I'm not really sure. I don't really adhere to a lot of or believe in a lot of the Calvinistic principles, but maybe I've misunderstood them. So I thought I'd get this it was so cheap. Why not? All right. And I got this next book because I have several books by this author, and he wrote like a magnum opus. I have the complete trilogy of 3 volumes of his study of the Old Testament, and this is John Goldingay, and I think I have another book by him too. He's very prominent theologian. This is Do We Need the New Testament? letting the Old Testament speak for itself. So it's a slim little volume. But I've often been intrigued by that. I didn't read the description for Saving Calvinism, but that's okay. I'll just read a brief synopsis of Do we need the New Testament? Do we need the Old Testament? That's a familiar question, often asked. But as an Old Testament scholar, John Goldingay turns that question on its head. Do we need the New Testament? Yes, we do. Okay. Sorry. In this cheerfully provocative yet probingly serious book, John Goldingay views the question from a variety of angles. Under his skilled hand, each facet unfolds the surprising richness of the Old Testament and challenges us to recalibrate our perspective on it. So this is interesting. And in fact, I'm going to read this, and I might even share this. I think I might see if my future. Oh God, what do you say? What do you say when your cousin gets married so that like their husband is your cousin-in-law? I don't know. But my cousin, Rachel's boyfriend, Michael, if you're watching, we had a great discussion on Saturday. Boy, we were just all day. We were talking religion, Christianity, his perspective, my perspective. We were getting into the weeds of, biblical study and contradictions, and he was challenging me, I was challenging him, and and we left it on just a hug and love, and it was all good. But we definitely said we want to continue our discussions on both religion and politics, and this might be a good book. This might be a good book for Michael. So I'll have to check that out. I know I want to kind of share a few things. He had some questions about the veracity of Paul's teaching. I won't share exactly what I don't want to share too much of the conversation. I'm not trying to start up any type of debate here, but it's fun. It's fun to talk about these things in a spirit of love, in a spirit of seeking knowledge and seeking understanding of one another, and how other people come to their own interpretations. And it was just really enlightening, and I'm really grateful for the conversation. So it was a wonderful time, and I look forward to more conversations with them both. And as we get together more, that just getting together, knowing we can go out again and make plans this summer, it's just a good feeling. So I hope many of you had that opportunity as well, and will continue to. Okay, next book I got is Wesley and the Anglicans, Political Division in Early Evangelicalism. There you go. Ryan Nicholas Danker is the author. So again, kind of along with the Calvinism book, I'm interested in the Anglican Church as well, and just the early evangelicalism. Now, let me just read this real quick. Yeah, this one talks about the Methodists. Like, I really, all my life, I'm like, what do Methodists believe? How is that different from... I don't know. I still don't really know. So here we go. Why did the Wesleyan Methodists and Anglican Evangelicals divide during the middle of the 18th century? Many would argue that the division between them was based narrowly on theological matters, especially predestination and perfection. Ryan Danker suggests, however, that politics was a major factor throughout, driving the Wesleyan Methodists and Anglican Evangelicals apart. Methodism was perceived as being linked with the radical and seditious politics of the Cromwellian period. Okay, this is interesting. This was a charged claim in a post-Restoration England. Likewise, Danker explores the political force of resurgent Tory influence under George III, which exerted more pressure on evangelicals to prove their loyalty to the establishment. These political realities made it hard for evangelicals in the Church of England to cooperate with Wesley, and meant that all their theological debates were politically infected. Here is a book rich in detail for all who seek deeper insight into a critical juncture in the development of evangelicalism and early Methodism. So, yes, please. This is another must-read and another addition to my my vast corpus of Christian history, early church history studies, not even early church history, just church history throughout the ages, in just the divisions, the schisms, and all that kind of stuff that happened. I love reading both theology for my spiritual benefit and biblical studies for my spiritual benefit, but I also just as a history shelf history reader, I love reading church history as well. So there you have it. Okay, and this is part of a series of books. I've had a few of these. This is put up by IVP Academic. This is going to be good. I'm wondering if this is another good read I can share with my friend. Reformation Readings of Paul, Explorations in History and Exegesis. It's edited by Michael Allen and Jonathan A. Linebaugh. I have the complete Reformation, well, not complete, it's a work in progress, but I'm a subscriber to I have the complete set of the Ancient Christian Commentary series, as well as they have two other ones that are really, I got to do a shelf tour of my commentary sets. They've taken 20 years to collect, pretty much. I'd say about 18 to 20 years. And two of them are complete, but the Reformation readings on Scripture is an ongoing one, but I have many, many of those. And I think this is meant kind of as a companion of sorts. But this one says, did the Protestant reformers understand Paul correctly? Has the church today been unduly influenced by Reformation-era misreadings of the Pauline epistles? These questions, especially as they pertain to Martin Luther's interpretation of the Pauline doctrine of justification, have been at the forefront of much discussion within biblical studies and theology in light of the new perspective on Paul. And new perspective is capitalized, so it's a new school of thought. But that leads to another question. Have we understood the Reformers correctly? With that in mind, these essays seek to enable a more careful reading of the Reformers' exegesis of Pauline texts. Each chapter pairs a Reformer with a selected Pauline material and then brings together a historical theologian and a biblical scholar to examine these Reformation-era readings of Paul. In doing so, this volume seeks a better understanding of the Reformers and the true meaning of the biblical text. So this is going to be good, because I want to kind of have, I was hoping I answered Michael's questions, but he was talking a lot about Ephesians, and I think right here there's a section here on Ephesians, the Church of Ephesus. So this could be really good. Let's see, the text of Ephesians and the theology of Butcher. There's like a response. It's just really cool. They got essays on all these different chapters. They cover Galatians and Martin Luther, Romans and Philip Melanchthon, Ephesians and Martin Butcher, the first and Second Corinthians and John Calvin, the letters of Paul and Thomas Cranmer, and then it concludes with the text of Paul and the theology of Cranmer. All right, this is going to be heady stuff, and I love it. And again, these were all on the academic sales site of IVP, InterVarsity Press, one of my favorites, as you know. Okay, and going back to the fact that love church history, and I have several books on church history and with different angles and stuff like that, but this was just so dirt cheap, and I don't have it, and I thought this might make for a good overview. But I can share this with others who might be are new to Christian church history, and this is Introduction to World Christian History by Derek Cooper. There you go. It says here, Christianity is a global faith. Today, people are increasingly aware that Christianity extends far beyond Europe and North America, permeating the eastern and southern hemispheres. What some may know less well is that Christianity has always been a global faith. In this brief introduction to world Christian history, Derek Cooper explores the development of Christianity across time and the continents, guiding readers to places like Iraq, Ethiopia and India, Scandinavia, Brazil, and Oceania, whatever. He reveals the fascinating and often surprising history of the church. So, pretty cool. little over 200 pages. It covers the globe here. It covers the globe from certain time frames and certain areas. So like part 1 is Christianity from the 1st to the 7th centuries, and that includes Asia, Africa, and Europe. Part 2 is Christianity from the 8th to the 14th centuries, and that also includes Asia, Africa, and Europe. And then when you get into part 3, Christianity from the 15th to the 21st century, that includes Europe, Latin America, Northern America, Oceania, Africa, and Asia. So a nice little primer, if you will, on that. Oh, and this is the book. So I saw this is the book that Johnny Keene had bought, and I was intrigued. You know, as soon as he said, "Oh, there's a sale going on, an academic sale," I was like, "I'm there." But this is the book that he has, and then I decided, yeah, that does look outstanding. So this is Incarnational Humanism. Thank you, Johnny, by the way. Incarnational Humanism, a philosophy of culture for the church in the world, by Jens Zimmerman. That's a nice cover. All right, what do we got here? Having left its Christian roots behind, the West faces a moral, spiritual, and intellectual crisis. It has little left to maintain its legacy of reason, freedom, human dignity, and democracy. Far from capitulating, Jen Zimmerman believes the church has a new opportunity to speak a surprising word into this postmodern situation, a word grounded in the incarnation itself. Retrieving an ancient Christian humanism for our time, Zimmerman draws on the rich resources found in Scripture and in its theological interpreters, ranging from Irenaeus and Augustine to de Lubac and Bonhoeffer, proposing a distinctly evangelical Christian philosophy of culture that grasps the link between the new humanity inaugurated by Christ and all of humanity. Zimmerman envisions the public ministry of the church as an embodied witness to God's reconciliation to the world. So I'm just thinking that through. Grasps the link between the new humanity inaugurated by Christ and all of humanity. An embodied witness. You know, sometimes they speak in these very abstract terms. Sometimes you have to kind of deconstruct what they're saying there, but it might just be something as simple as, linking the incarnation, the humanity of Christ with the humanity of us. We are humans, obviously, and then the public ministry of the church as again, embodied. It's all about the embodiment, the incarnation. So we'll see what he says. But it looks like they've got quite a bit of history sections in here. Without roots, the current malaise of Western culture. It's kind of a nice, provocative first section. The West cultural heritage, Christianity or Enlightenment. Then it goes into the exhaustion of secularism, and then the return of religion. And then you get into the studies on humanism, patristic humanism, medieval humanism, Renaissance humanism. Okay. And then the rise of anti-humanism as it gets into Kant and Hegel. And then Nietzsche and Heidegger. Okay, so it's a nice mixture of it. There's got a lot of philosophy in here for sure. So boom. Oh, and it's part of a series, I should say. Strategic Initiatives in Evangelical Theology. All right. And it was probably one of the more, I think maybe $8, but still these are, considering the list price, all of these books are very, very affordable if you're interested. Okay, I'm going to save, I got 2 chunksters, but I'm going to save that for the end. And here's another slim little volume, beautiful hardcover. And this is In Search of Ancient Roots, The Christian Past and the Evangelical Identity Crisis by Kenneth J. Stewart. This is a nice hardcover here. Again, so cheap. They must be just trying to make room in their inventory for new stuff. What do we have here? Today it is increasingly difficult for Protestants to identify what counts as distinctively Protestant, much less what counts as evangelical. As evangelicals increasingly lose contact with the churches and traditions descending from the Reformation, and as relations with Roman Catholicism continue to thaw, it becomes harder to explain why one should remain committed to the Reformation in the face of perceived deficits and theological challenges within the Protestant tradition. A common complaint about Protestant evangelicalism is its apparent disconnect from ancient Christianity. The antiquity and Catholicity of Roman Catholicism and Eastern Orthodoxy seem to outshine the relative novelty of the Reformation. The result is that a number of younger Protestants in recent years have abandoned evangelicalism and turning instead to practices and traditions that appear more rooted in the early church. In Search of Ancient Roots examines this phenomenon and places it within a wider historical context. Ken Stewart surveys 5 centuries of Protestant engagement with the ancient church, showing that evangelicals have the resources in their own history to claim their place at the ecumenical table. So, interesting. Let's see what kind of chapters we're looking at here. Let's see here. You know, I don't really identify as an evangelical. I definitely set myself within the Lutheran Protestant place within the, Apostolic Church. But let's see here. Part 1, setting the stage. So it talks about the evangelical identity crisis. The fact that is it just a latecomer to Christian history. And then part 2 is evangelical engagements with ancient Christianity, examples to encourage us. The Apostolic Fathers in the hands of Protestants, 1600 to 2000. 18th century evangelicals and the frequency of the Lord's Supper. Well, we're getting into the nitty-gritty here. Early church baptism in the hands of evangelical Protestants. Okay, so let's we'll see. We'll see what kind of case he's making here for the evangelical church. But In Search of Ancient Roots. And for the price, I said I will check it out. Okay, so I also really like this author. He's written several really slim volumes that are kind of fun. They're kind of not novelistic, but like A Week in the Life of, a Roman centurion. A Week in the Life of, A Week in the Life of the City of Corinth, or something like that. This is Ben Witherington III. This guy's so prolific. Now, this is a new. He wrote. I have the first volume. This is volume 2 of his New Testament Theology and Ethics. But it was volume 1 was, and I have it in hardcover, and it's either packed now for moving or upstairs still. But the first volume was called The Indelible Image. And this is volume 2. So they decided to issue this and a new paperback edition or trade paperback. So this is New Testament Theology and Ethics, volume 2. Big boy. Okay. But I had volume 1 in the hardcover, and it's a very different cover. It has that wonderful painting, Ecce Homo, that I love, of Pontius Pilate standing before, behold the man, with Jesus stripped after he'd been, beaten and, flayed essentially. But I love that painting, and so that one is on the hardcover. But then they released both volumes in this type of painting. So the first volume also looks like this. But I'm like, I already have the one in the first hardcover. Even though they don't look alike, I don't care. I'm not going to buy it again. But they have both volume 1 and 2 in the sale. So if you're interested, check it out. But it's a chunkster. I mean, this is definitely going into his exegesis here. Let me just read this here. All too often, argues Ben Witherington, the theology of the New Testament has been divorced from its ethics, leaving as isolated abstractions what are fully integrated dynamic elements within the New Testament itself. As Witherington stresses, behavior affects and reinforces or undoes belief. Indeed. Having completed commentaries on all of the New Testament books, and it says here, a remarkable feat in itself. And it is. I mean, this man is incredible. Witherington offers the second of a 2-volume set on the theological and ethical thought world of the New Testament. Originally published as The Indelible Image, the first volume looks at the individual witnesses while the second examines the collective witness. The New Testament, says Witherington, is like a smallish choir. All are singing the same cantata, but each has an individual voice and is singing its own parts and notes. If we fail to pay attention to all the voices in the choir, we do not get the entire effect. If the first volume is about closely analyzing the sheet music left to us by which each musician's part is delineated, the second volume will attempt to recreate what it might have sounded like had they ever gotten together and performed their scores to produce a single masterful cantata. That is a wonderful way to describe it for the layperson. I mean, isn't it? That is just beautiful. The result is a uniquely comprehensive New Testament theology, presented with evangelical clarity and conviction by a skilled exegete. This edition includes revised headings throughout for greater clarity of organization and content. Witherington's governing dictum nonetheless remains that to read the New Testament well, we must take theology and ethics, belief and behavior, together. So, yeah. Yes, please. So now I have the complete set. It's mismatched, one hardcover with a different cover, and then this is a nice look here. I like this too. But again, I think they have both volume 1 and 2 available in the sale if you're interested. Okay, and I think the most expensive thing I bought was $10, but this is something to have on my Christian history, my just in my theological library period as a reference. So it's definitely a reference work, not something you're going to sit down and read page to page or whatever. But this is the Global Dictionary of Theology. Let me back up a little bit. It's a big boy. Edited by William A. Drynas and Veli-Matti Karkainen. And then your associate editors are down there. A resource for the worldwide church. So, yeah, as you can see, nice big reference work. Nice, sturdy hardcover. And it's just an A to Z reference. You know? Anthropology, Anabaptist theology, Asian theology. Then it goes into different, just everything. Ecumenism, culture and society, Chinese religions, kingdom of God, hermeneutics, feminist theologies. I mean, it covers everything. Patristic theology, love. Got to have love. Kingdom of God, Indian theology. It says here, theological dictionaries are foundational to any theological library. True. But until now, there has been no global dictionary, and that's what I found really intriguing, of theology. A theological dictionary that presumes the contribution of the Western tradition, but moves beyond it to embrace and explore a full range of global expressions of theology, which I love. The Global Dictionary of Theology is inspired by the shift of the center of Christianity from the West to the global South, but it also reflects the increase in two-way traffic between these two sectors, as well as the global awareness that has permeated popular culture to an unprecedented degree. Let's see here. The editorial perspective of the Global Dictionary of Theology is an ecumenical evangelicalism that is receptive to discovering new facets of truth through listening and conversation on a global scale. Yeah, so I'm just so intrigued by this. It does. It takes a fully global look. And I love reading about the theology in the different continents and countries. So this is fantastic. And again, what a wonderful reference. And for like $10 or something crazy. So this is a big, heavy stack. I don't think I can do the pyramid. But I wanted to shout out my favorite publishers, one of my favorite publishers, InterVarsity Press. Thanks for putting on the sale, making these books just so affordable, and I hope a lot of you will take advantage. I will drop the link below directly to that page, so check it out. And I think, we're at just under 30 minutes. I'm improving. More new books to show you at the History Shelf. Had a lot of stuff coming over the Memorial Day weekend, but I think I'm probably going to do some separate videos for each publisher because I've gotten several books from certain publishers, and I'd like to just go ahead and just kind of group those together and give you more videos rather than sending you 50-minute videos. So I'm learning, what you like out there. But anyway, guys, I hope you had a wonderful Tuesday. Let's get it going. Tomorrow's hump day. We can do this. And until next time, BookTube, take care. Bye-bye.